Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I'm live right now. Okay. My goodness. Okay. It says I'm live here. Am I live there? I don't know what's going on. We're gonna see if this is actually working. So thank you for being here with me while I try to figure this out. We're looking on Streamlabs right now to try to see if we're just gonna try and see if this is working. I don't think it is, but that's okay. We don't learn things unless, oh, it is working. Okay, so that's okay. Just we don't learn things unless we try, right? Okay, let's see. So it says I'm live here, but it doesn't say that I am live on YouTube, even though I don't think. Oh, yep, we are. It's working. Hey, look at that. Hello, friends. How are you all? Okay. Okay, Google. Yeah. Don't. Okay. Um, okay, it's working. I'm glad about that. All right. Yes. Okay. This is Tamara. You did recently subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. It is working. That's good. So it wasn't working. I'm using Streamlabs right now. So I'm live on two different platforms. The problem is with my my screen right here, it's not telling me what is live and what isn't. So I'm not sure, like I can't see the preview of it. So I had to actually go into TikTok and see the preview of it and make sure that things are actually previewed the way that they're supposed to. So it just keeps telling me that this element needs to be enabled. It's enabled. I don't know. I don't know. So there we go. I just found an ice cream sandwich. We're going to eat this. But how is everybody doing? So TikTok wants me to go live. YouTube wants me to go live. So I found a software where I could go live on both. But I can't see. There used to be like a stream preview, but it's saying that I have to enable something and I don't know how to. So anyway, how's everybody doing? What are we doing today? I'm sorry, Amber. I don't understand your question. You're asking if you can go online, but whatever. Oh, thank you. This is called, I pulled it up after a shower and didn't want to do anything with it after that. Hi, Maddie. All right. So it's telling me that I have to enable, let's see. I just want to see it. I just want to see what the live looks like. It just keeps telling me that I have to. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Okay. So, all of my colleagues went back to school this week. I quit teaching. So, I'm not in school this week. And it feels really, really weird to actually not be in the classroom when I know everybody else is. This feels really awkward eating this ice cream sandwich while I am talking to you guys, but it feels very awkward to me right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this and I'm going to make it live. Okay. Oh, well, I'm glad that you are finishing up your day. So anyway, it just feels really weird to not be in school right now. Extremely weird not being in school right now. Ooh, what did I just do? I don't know what I just did. This is a Fat Boy Sugar Cookie ice cream sandwich. That is what this is. Anyway, it feels really, really weird not to be in the school right now. It feels weird not to be in the classroom. And trying to do this content creation thing full time was not really my whole goal, but that's just kind of where we're at. Yes, I am allergic to chocolate. And a lot of people say I don't know how I can handle that, which is really kind of funny. I don't. So when I was pregnant, my body metabolized it differently. I would still get some of a reaction, but not like an entire reaction to it, not like the reaction that I get. People want to know what my reaction to chocolate is. My throat blisters and burns and starts to close off. And then the secondary reaction is I get a migraine headache. Yeah, Fat Boy ice cream sandwiches are 100% amazing. They're allergy safe for me too. People that say that I am not allergic to chocolate, I'm allergic to XYZ ingredient in chocolate. 47 years, guys. 47 years. My other favorite thing is, oh, you do? You work with a couple of my kids? Tell them that I love them. Carob is a chocolate substitute. It's a little too sweet for my liking, but I do make some brownies with it. And when I make the brownies, carob has a really low burning point. So I have to cook them at a lower temperature for longer. Also, I add almond flavoring to the carob because it makes it more palatable, I think. Anyway, so the chocolate allergy, this is a mess. Oh, I really should not have just planned to eat this. Mm. How did I find out I was allergic to chocolate? I don't know. It used to make me really, really sick as a kid. And then I think my mom had me tested. That's all I know. It's been my whole life, so I'm not really sure how I found out. But it used to make me really, really sick as a kid. I had a teacher in 2nd grade that tried to force me to drink my chocolate milk because one thing I've found with me making these videos lately is that a lot of people don't believe that chocolate allergies are a thing. I'm allergic to the cocoa solids, which is the brown part of the chocolate. So when the chocolate bean is like refined down, it's refined down into cocoa solids and cocoa butter. I can't have cocoa butter. I can't have the cocoa solids. And people keep telling me, well, you're allergic to the dairy. You're allergic to cockroaches. No, I am allergic to the cocoa solids, right? I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, you're a Gear Up coordinator. That is awesome. I'm actually going to be working at a community college. I'm going to be I'm going to be teaching the English 101 and 102 for students in the ACE program. And a lot of them go into Gear Up from there. So that's really cool. This is a mess and it's melting really fast. Oh! Okay, hold on. You guys, this is a disaster. Okay, hold on. Wash my hands. All right, that was a mess. You may have an allergy to something in the chocolate. So chocolate actually has a lot of, I'm a mess. Chocolate actually has a whole bunch of different elements to it. So you might be allergic to the cocoa solids like I am. You might be allergic to the cocoa. Sorry, not to the cocoa. You might be allergic to the cocoa solids. And if it's actual chocolate bar itself, you might be allergic to dairy. You might be allergic to soy. You might be allergic to cockroaches. So you really do have to be tested to figure out what part of the chocolate it is that bothers you. Some people keep telling me, you can have Oreos because they're vegan. I don't understand that. I'm allergic to the cocoa solid. So if it has cocoa in it, then I'm allergic to it. I can't have it. So that means Oreos. That means M&Ms. That means, literally anything. If it says cocoa, I can't have it. I've also had people tell me that chocolate in America isn't really chocolate, but as long as it has cocoa in it, it is still chocolate. Just because we refine it and make it differently doesn't mean that it's not what it is. Um, if that makes sense to anybody. I don't know. Anel, hello! Hello, my good friend. I feel bad that I didn't get to see you this year. Yeah, cockroaches, people have cockroach allergies. There are cockroaches that end up in chocolate for whatever reason. And so people with cockroach allergies can eat chocolate. That's not my problem. My problem literally is the cocoa solids. Hey! Oh my gosh, my friend. Hello, darling. Okay. This is so weird. I can't see the stream, and that really bothers me. It's really bothering me. Some people are also allergic to caffeine and can't have chocolate because chocolate has natural caffeine in it. Thankfully, I am not allergic to caffeine. It's literally the cocoa solids. So, yeah. It is weird to see all of my friends back in school right now. I'm like scrolling on my Facebook feed and I'm seeing pictures from people back in their classroom and like little signs holding it up, like day 20 or year 22 going back to school, all of those things. It feels weird. It feels very weird not to be in the classroom. I am live on YouTube too. Yes. So I am part of the YouTube partner program. So this was before I became monetized on YouTube. It's like the Creator Collective, YouTube Creator Collective. And they send challenges out every so often. And one of the challenges was to go live more often on YouTube. And I know a lot of people stream on YouTube and they do things like they're playing games or they're like talking about news or whatever. And I still haven't gotten into a groove of what to stream on YouTube. I don't know what they want me to do. I'm going to make some bread here coming up soon. Maybe I'll stream that while I make it. I don't know. I don't know what they want me to stream. I will not be doing my college class online. It is in person. We start at the end of August. Thank you. So my Disney ears behind me, those are my collection. And if you'll see also the lanyards down there, I actually started with a lanyard collection. I did not start collecting ears. Lanyards are kind of a loungefly collection that a teacher can afford because the lanyards are only like $25 or they're $12 a pair. So that's, whatever. So I started with a lanyard collection. I have 102 different lanyards. Most of them are Disney. I do have a couple others that are not. I love you too. I love you too, my friend, my penguin. Go have dinner. Anyway, my lanyard collection is something that I had. I had 102 of them. They used to hang up on the wall in my classroom. I brought them home 2 years ago because I had students like stealing from me, which, unfortunately in public school or like really any school that happens. So I brought them home. None of my lanyards had gotten stolen, but they had stolen like other weird, like strange things. It didn't make sense to me. Anyway, so I started collecting lanyards, but then I also started collecting ears. Whenever I went to the park, I'd get a new pair of ears. And some of them were custom made for me. And I actually have 6 sets of graduation ears, 1 pair for every year that I taught seniors at the high school that I was at. So yeah, the graduation ears haven't been hung up yet, but they're going to go across the top. My high school had a Disney club. I had started a Disney club in the high school, and that was a lot of fun. It's so weird because I can't tell who's where and what, and I don't know. And my phone doesn't tell me what. All right. Yeah. I have not secured a drone tour with Amazon. I've been talking to Prime Air, just kind of over Instant Messenger, and right now they're still trying to figure out what that looks like for them in their facility. I'm sure it has to do with safety. I'm sure it has to do with a lot of those things, but have not yet secured that. Would like to, but haven't. So, yeah. it says this element requires selective recording to be enabled. Like, how do I enable selective recording? I just don't even understand. Do I just put that there and save? I got it! I figured it out! Okay, cool. Now I've got it. I can see it. I can see. Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'll drop that in the middle there. Okay. Much better. There we go. Now I can see it. Okay, anyway, I've been talking with them on Instant Messenger. They haven't quite figured out, they told me that they loved all my videos on the drones and what the drone is doing. However, they're not allowing people to come into the facility just yet. But I really want to do that. One of my pillars of my content is going to be exploring and learning. So I think that would be a lot of fun. I also plan to go and ride in a driverless car. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Maybe. Is tomorrow Friday? I think tomorrow's Friday. I don't even know. I guess I should look. Yes, tomorrow is Friday. That's what happens when you quit your job. You forget what day of the week it is. Oh, my ear itches. Okay. I've tried making ice cream sandwiches with my favorite cookies. Here's the problem. When you make an ice cream sandwich with your favorite cookie, like something about store-bought ice cream sandwiches, the cookies, maybe it's because they've sat in the ice cream for long enough that like they're really soft and pliable. When you make your own cookies and make an ice cream sandwich, the ice cream is too soft and then you bite into it and all the ice cream shoots out the other side. This might just be a user error problem, but for me, I don't like to do that. They're way too messy to eat. And if you're just coming online right now, you missed my whole attempt at eating an ice cream sandwich at the beginning, where just the ice cream melted everywhere and went everywhere, and it's all over my shirt. I thought that I had a shout wipe in my drawer. I do not. I'm trying to find, so I haven't gone. If you're going into 10th grade honors English, I mean, literally just keep your mind open when your teacher introduces a process as far as it goes to writing. Keep your mind open. Don't be like, I don't like to write that way. The other thing that I would suggest is when you're going into 10th grade honors English, you're going to be looking at a lot of different pieces of literature and works. You're probably going to be reading a Shakespeare play. You're probably going to be looking at some world literature. Keep your mind open. The best way to experience the world is through the words and experiences of others, especially if you can't travel to those places. But even if you do travel to those places, you're still looking to experience it through the words and experiences of others. So just know that honors English or literature in any way is your best way at understanding the world around you. It's your best way at creating historical empathy, understanding why things happened when they happened. I also, if your teacher doesn't teach it this way, which most people are starting to, when you start to read a piece of literature, look into the history surrounding that literature. If you're going to be reading, for example, The Crucible, which you probably wouldn't read in 10th grade, you'd read that in 11th. But if you're going to read The Crucible, look into the history of what was happening around the time the book was written. Not the time period the book is written about, but the time the book was written. What you'll find out is what was happening at the time greatly influenced the novel and is going to help you better to understand it. So The Crucible is written about the Salem witch trials, but it was written at the same time that the communist hunts were happening here in the United States. And it's an allegory about Marxism and communism and how we really shouldn't judge people. Anyway, it's excellent. But when you look into literature or any of that, before you read it, try to look at the history that was surrounding the time that it was written to see if you can find any what's the word I'm looking for? Gosh, I've been out of work for just a few days and I can't even think. any factors that would have influenced the story. I am still planning to sub at my school, maybe. There's a lot going on. We'll see. We'll see. I don't plan to until after the 10th of August if I do go back to sub, just because I have, my niece is getting married, and so I'm going to be going to Colorado, and so I won't be subbing until after that. Hi, Courtney. So yeah. Let's see. Things are good. Things are really good. I've had a lot of people ask me, what I plan to do, what I plan to do next, where I plan to go, mostly my husband. All of those people ask me these questions. I don't know. Full-time content creation was never really the plan. Full-time content creation was kind of like the dream, but right now I am kind of pushing myself headlong into it just because that's what I have right now. I've had several job applications. I've had several job interviews. Nothing is really feeling right or working out. My last interview I thought went really, really well. I had good email exchanges with the people after. I fully expected to get a call, and then they just ghosted me. So I don't know. I do think that my content creation might, in a way, be factoring into those decisions to not get calls back. It's possible. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm a little nervous to do this full time. It's definitely not replacing my income in any way, shape, or form, but maybe it will one day. Ooh. I'm also thinking about potentially becoming a travel agent, not full time. I don't want to do it full time, but I've had so many people contact me on social media asking if I would help them book cruises or whatever, and I never could. So it's possible that I will do that. I don't think people are prejudging me because my content isn't negative, and nothing that I have put out online has ever been in any way a bad reflection of my school, my district, or my students. And so I don't think that's it. I think that they're just concerned that my content creation might at some point take that angle. And instead of talking to me about it and discussing it, I'm just not offered the job. It hasn't affected my teaching career thus far, but keep in mind when I started content creation, I already worked for the school and the district that I was in. I think that it might, and again, nobody's told me directly, so this might just be me postulating based on just experiences over the last couple of weeks. I don't think it's affected my teaching career so far, but it might be moving forward. And so I just have to decide which one is going to be more lucrative in the long run. I'm already teaching at the college. The college doesn't seem to care. But again, I don't ever post students. I don't ever post whatever. And I will not be posting from the college classroom. I can tell you that I did, now that I'm no longer working there, I did have, sorry, my ears just popped. I did have a coaching meeting with my human resources department at the district that I just left. Somebody had complained about my videos, and the district was going to ask me to stop making content and to stop filming directly from my classroom. We did come to an agreement on that because I had collaborated with the district multiple times, and for 4 years they knew that I was there making content, and they knew that my content was positively affecting and providing for my school and my district. So we just agreed that I would take the video down that was being complained about, and that's what I did. Still very, very good friends with the human resources person that did the coaching with me. A letter was not put in my file, right? Like nothing was really done about that. We did have conversations. I did meet with the principal. I did meet with the superintendent. Everything was fine. Everybody kind of agreed that whoever this was that was complaining was just an internet troll. But the complaint was also invalid It wasn't somebody coming from our school, our district, or even our state. So there was a lot there. I probably would go back to teaching in some capacity if the situation was right. I think that this year I do need to take a step back from the classroom just because things, or at least in that district, I don't know if another situation opened up that was right for me, I might consider it. But I did need to take a step back. I would love to go back to teaching in some capacity. Maybe full-time at a college. That would be fun. That would be fulfilling to me, but I will be starting part-time at the college at the end of this month. Or at the end of next month, I guess. Next month starts tomorrow. And we'll go from there and see, but I'm not really sure. If that makes sense. Um, You're lucky because you're with the Gear Up program. I would look around ASU's campus and see if there's anything that they do have that they could offer. I do know that there's a girl that I met at Target one day, just the most random of circumstances, that was moving into teaching. She was moving into teaching English at ASU. She had her bachelor's degree. And her undergrad was English, and she was working on getting her master's degree. So they kind of put her in as like an adjunct professor under that. And she was like, you really should totally come teach for ASU. They will do it. They did it for me. And they wouldn't even give my application a second look, even though I do have a master's degree in secondary education and one in English. But I would look around. I think you like to stay, I want to stay in the education space in some way, shape, or form, which is why my content pillars are all focused on education, just not necessarily in the education space. I love teaching, I love learning, I love experiencing, and I love helping people learn about the world around them through the experiences and voices of others. So that's kind of what my content is going to be centered around. But I'm going to enjoy being in the classroom as an adjunct professor. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. Right now I'm just going to say physical burnout and emotional burnout. I'm not going to go too deeply into why I'm not at the high school anymore. There are a lot of reasons. There's a lot of piping hot tea that goes along with that. I just can't divulge any of that just yet. We'll just leave it at that. And if you're on YouTube and you're seeing me for the first time, I would love for you to subscribe. That would be awesome. State of Arizona. We have what's called through our what are those things called? Power companies. Through our power companies, because Arizona is so hot during the day, they have what's called peak electricity time, where they actually charge you more for electricity during certain time periods of the day. For us right now, it's 2 to 8 p.m. because that is the hottest part of the day. So in our house, we super chill the air conditioning at the very beginning of the day. Like we get it down to like 60 something degrees, 68 degrees in this house. And then when the peak time hits, our air conditioner turns off. Our house is really, really well insulated, but between 2 and 8 p.m., the air conditioner does not run. Hot air rises. My office is in my bedroom, which is upstairs. And it's getting warm in here now because the air conditioner has been off for 2 hours. So I'm starting to get a little bit warm. It feels really nice downstairs, though. I did love my school. I did really love my school. I loved the students. I loved the district that I was in. My kids went to that school. There were just a lot of things that happened that I'm just going to say that my values and the values of the district no longer aligned. That's the best way I can put it. And again, I don't want to get too deeply into a lot of that just because I'm still kind of working through what life looks like and whether or not I want to go back at some point. I'm looking for something. And I said burnout, and burnout is real, and burnout is a thing. And I've said that online because 500,000 people needed to know something. But the burnout wasn't directly related to the job I was doing. It was more related to the people and the circumstances around the job. if that makes sense. Again, I'm not going to go too deeply into most of that. Yeah, taking a step back really does help. My husband was fully on board with it. He's still fully on board with it. It's just right now we're being faced with the reality that I no longer have a job, and that's starting to get a little concerning to him. I've got pink ice cream on my shirt. So on TikTok, I will be doing more TikTok shop stuff. I have posted a couple of videos about TikTok shop. But I mean, I'm not like focusing on it. I don't want it to turn into like a QVC type thing. But you know, you girls gotta find some way to pay for Disney and cruises. Pink ice cream all over my shirt. Yeah, dropping a full-time income isn't ideal. And I will tell you that I worked for the highest paid district in the state of Arizona, which sounds like a really cool thing. But I will also tell you that the highest paid district in the state of Arizona reminds you daily that it's the highest paid district in the state of Arizona. I need to open more mini brand books too. I don't have any. I don't have any more book capsules. I need more. That would be nice, right? Yeah, I'm using small like alcohol wipes to try to get the ice cream off my shirt. Also not ideal. I'm sorry, Brittany, what's cool? Taking a step back. I have some Tide wipes, but they're downstairs and I didn't want to go get them. So this seems to be working. It's just taking a minute. Oh, yeah. Well, so my district, and I will be 100% transparent with that. The district that I was working in, again, highest paid district in the state of Arizona. When I resigned, my contract was for $82,000 for 10 months. So that is actually quite a bit. $82,000 for a 10-month contract in teaching is almost unheard of, especially when you're only on year 7 with the district. So walking away from that is hard. Any other district in any teaching position, with my experience, with my education, with everything, I was looking at going into, I think top was 53. So, I mean, I realized what I did. I realized walking away from that was not smart. But also, again, as I've explained, it's not necessarily about the money. It's about the other thing. Yeah. So, like I said, but working for the highest paid district in the state is great and all, but again, they remind you constantly that it's the highest paid district in the state. So, read between whatever lines are there. Yeah, and I'm in a good position because my husband has a job. I mean, we still have to scale back a little bit on some of the things that we were doing. And, it's not like we're not like living in the lap of luxury or whatever it is, but we will be okay on my husband's one income. We just have to cut back on some things, which is why I'm here. I have done the math. I've done the girl math. For 365 days a year, if I can make at least $250 a day on content, that would replace my full-time teaching income for 365 days a year. If I did $400 a day, that would replace my full-time teaching income and account for the taxes. So there you go. That's where we're at. And for some reason, people are really invested in this whole me shopping for ice cream sandwiches. It is extremely overwhelming. However, I already had a really good base of work. And as long as I stay consistent on any of the platforms, it'll be great. I do need YouTube to build up because we are still unsure of what's going to happen with TikTok in the next 36 days. So if TikTok were to go away, that is a good chunk of my income per day. So yeah, I need YouTube to be built up. I need that to be solid. I am monetized on Facebook. I am monetized on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I don't have a Teachers Pay Teachers, and I won't have a Teachers Pay Teachers. While I have a lot of resources and things that I have built, most of them are intellectual and not necessarily reproducible outside of the way that I teach them. So unless you wanted to change your entire teaching format, the things that I have wouldn't really work for you on TPT. I do have a website. And I am starting to build my website, and there's going to be a resources tab on there with things like my daily slides, different written objectives, different things like that. But I would never sell those. Those will just be available for free. They might be behind a subscription wall at some point. I've got to figure through that. But that's where I'm at right now. What I would like to do is get into speaking. Before I became a teacher, I worked in corporate America, and in corporate America, I was a speaker. I did go out and speak to companies about different things, and I did have various times where I would stand in front of people. Also, while teaching, I gave several speeches during like professional developments and things like that. I would love to do that. I do have a keynote speech that's titled "I Was Never Teacher of the Year," that I would love to be able to get out and do. I just don't know how to get into keynote speaking. Oh, Emily, thank you for subscribing. Hi. I don't know how to get into keynote speaking. Back when I was speaking in corporate, it was literally just in front of companies that my company owned. And then in teaching, it was just in front of professional developments within our own district. I would love to branch out on that. The problem with that is to get into speaking, you have to like get into speakers bureaus and different things. I don't have money to throw into a speakers bureau to be part of their catalog of speakers. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get myself on the radar so that I can be out there and people can see me. I did apply to do a TED Talk at TED Ed. Haven't heard back from them. I don't know if I will. But that would be so cool. Again, the speech that I would give at TED, the one that I have, is the keynote that's titled, I Never Was Teacher of the Year. So I'm thinking, hopefully, that I can be able to get into speaking, and that would also bring another income. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. If your district's looking for a keynote speaker, hey! And I can also promise you that you're not going to find anything in my background that is questionable. We had a keynote speaker one time. I kid you not, in the first 5 minutes of their keynote speech, they alienated half of the staff. And then in the next 5 minutes, they alienated the other half. Like it was, people were walking out. It was terrible. We also had another one that they brought in that was currently under investigation for embezzlement from the school district that he worked in. Like, oh my gosh. It became kind of a game for us to just like Google our keynote speakers and see what we were going to find. But yeah. No, I appreciate that TPT could be an additional income, a passive income. It's just not my thing. I wouldn't know how to put that together. I don't think so. The speeches that I'm talking about was only speaking to teachers. It was not speaking to students. So, I don't think that they would need a disclosure for that. But I mean, I have a level 1 fingerprint clearance card because I was a teacher, background checks, all of that stuff. Plus my husband has worked on government programs. And so, you know, we've been thoroughly vetted around here. Okay, so lives on YouTube are different than lives on TikTok, and I'm not really sure. It's just weird. Okay, it's just really weird. I'm not really sure what. So YouTube land, what types of things would I do? Um, oh, I like Brad Cohen. Yeah, for sure. So what types of things would you like to see as lives? What types of lives should I do? Oh, we'll figure that out. These conversations are great, these one-to-one conversations, but I don't know. I got an email from YouTube. They wanted me to go live. I wonder if there's like something that I have to put in the live specifically. Hold on. Oh, a lanyard tour? We could do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah. Um, so I decided to extend my summer permanently and not go back into the classroom. Um, the very beginning of my summer was awesome. I went on an Alaskan cruise with my husband, his parents, and my parents. That was a lot of fun. Getting my daughter ready to go to college. She's starting in the fall. There's a lot of things. So I don't know. My favorite part of the summer, I guess, would be extending it permanently. Oh. Yeah, I can do both. I'm currently live on both TikTok and YouTube. I should be going live on Facebook and Instagram as well. It's a little more complicated to do that. Um, anyway, yeah, if you're new here on YouTube, would love a subscription. I'm a teacher. I teach things. I travel. I like to explore the world around me and share with others. We're gonna go drive in a driverless car. Well, I like you already. You're a huge Disney fan like me. I'm a Disney fan, not a Disney adult. I feel like those are two very different things. Um, yeah. Ooh. Okay. All right. I think this has been a very fun experience. What I am going to do is I'm going to end the stream. I will be trying to go live again tomorrow. We'll see how that all works out. But I do hope you guys are all having an amazing day.